And ahead of next year's World Cup and the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, the Trump administration is moving to dramatically tighten screening for foreign visitors. A new proposal would require nearly all travelers, even from visa waiver countries like the UK and Germany, to hand over 5 years of social media history before entering the U.S.
Customs and Border Protection posted the rule in the Federal Register calling for the mandatory disclosure of past social media accounts, email addresses, phone numbers, and some family information. Now, officials say it's meant to strengthen national security, but critics warn it could deter tourism and raise privacy concerns.
Joining us now is attorney and certified criminal law specialist Dwane Cates, along with former senior advisor at the Department of Homeland Security, former Secret Service agent and Newsmax contributor Charles Marino. Gentlemen, welcome. Chuck, I'm going to start with you here.
Yeah.
To me, this is just my immediate reaction when I heard this. I thought, you know what? It may sound invasive, but the number of times we sit here and often with you right where you are and say, you know, if only people had looked at social media accounts, we would have seen red flags. If only we had seen this in advance, maybe this tragedy, whatever it was, would not have happened. Can we look at this maybe the same way?
Yeah, and it's been a problem historically with our national security policies here in this country. They're too heavy on being reactive. We have no further look than the events of September 11th, where we had to enact new policies, new departments to catch up to what the threat level was. And we have to have standards in this country. If you hear how we're talking about this immigration debate, it's about assimilation, it's about waste, fraud, and abuse with tax dollars, it's about rising crime, it's about the issue once it's already in the country. We need to focus on the standards regarding who are we letting into the country. And we have to understand that some people that want to come in here legally are not going to meet the muster. Either they're coming from a country which vetting is impossible to conduct, like Somalia, like Afghanistan, like Yemen, like any other special interest location, or they're going to be other concerning characteristics that should allow us as a country with strong borders, with strong immigration laws to say, you know what, we're not going to let you in. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I don't think there is. I applaud the Trump administration for this. And Dwane, I know a lot of, we mentioned friendly countries in Western Europe. They don't know who's in their country. They've suffered from mass migration. You have no idea. So why take the risk? Why not go back like they're going to do, look at all their social media posts? You might find something and say, hey, you know what? Don't come. It's not even worth it here. And I think that's what the administration's going for.
Well, and I think it's a good idea. I don't know how practical it is, because when you have 1 million people coming and you want 5 years of their social media, I mean, at one point I downloaded my Facebook, you know, all my Facebook stuff, and it was terabytes of information. And to have somebody to go through that is going to be kind of difficult. Number two, I mean, how do you know if they don't give it up? Okay, you know, so they say I closed an account 8 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago. How are you going to get that data? Because once it's closed, it's gone. The data's gone. So, you know, I mean, I guess, you know, you could, on the application, it would be practical for them to list their social media accounts so that they can vet them, so they can go through those accounts and look. But anybody that's intending on doing harm is going to take some efforts to try to hide that.
I think it's a great point there, Dwane. I mean, Chuck, you know, also there are so many things beyond, you know, the typical Instagram, Facebook, X, those things that I've never even heard of that are potentially on the dark web, chat rooms and otherwise that maybe more mainstream types of social media simply wouldn't reveal. So while it may sound like a great concept, to Dwane's point, do you agree that it would only scratch the surface, if that?
Well, again, these are applications to enter the United States. We know Customs and Border Protection has the authority to go through these devices at border checkpoints. And we know that the State Department running these applications has responsibility for the thorough vetting process of all of this. These applications are to be filed in a timely manner to allow the State Department the ability to vet. They are creating special fast-track programs lined up with big events like the World Cup for FIFA to make sure that they've got the additional resources and capabilities on hand to conduct this vetting. It's very hard in this day and age to encounter anyone that does not have some sort of digital footprint. For somebody to sit in front of me as somebody who's conducting a vetting process, for example, with a request to come into the country to claim that they've got no social media or digital footprint is just not going to be true.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on it.
That's right.
I'm trying to make it safe.
Yeah.
I get it. I
At
get
least
the
a
thought.
deterrent.
Yes, absolutely. Dwane, Chuck, good to see you both.
Thanks.
Thank you.